Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are here, we are live yet for another update on this public investment playlist portfolio. As usual, I followed this channel for quite some time. Each month I'm contributing and publicly disclaiming what I'm doing in this investment portfolio. Just because you see here a random guy on YouTube making these kind of decisions doesn't necessarily mean they are the right ones for you. Remember, this is only for entertaining purposes and a time capsule in a way, so that in a few years I can look back and rewatch these videos, and it's always a good topic for my friends and families to strike conversation about the things that I'm doing. Without any further ado, let's open this Trading 212 app, which is the broker that I'm using for this portfolio. As you can see, the interface has changed quite a bit over the last few months if you watch the videos, and now in order for me to see my performance I need to go down here, because the amount that you were seeing before, it is considering the cash that I have deposited on the Trading 212. So basically my portfolio, my stock portfolio right now is worth 5,560 euros, and the unrealized profit is 1,600. So in total I am having a performance. If I were to sell all of my stocks today, I would have a return of 40.41, and then I would be taxed on these gains. But until then, we stick with the plan, the dollar cost average every single month. Hopefully I'll be able to continue to make these monthly updates. Next month I don't know, because in my new job I'll be traveling quite a lot. We will see, stick around, and I'll try to update it as much as I can and when I can, and it's always a way for me to get myself accountable and keep sticking to the strategy, whether the market is up, whether the market is down. I'm always contributing. In the long term it will average out. Will I beat the market? Who knows, only time will tell. Statistically speaking, not very likely, but so far we're doing well. And the other option is just to leave the money at the bank and losing purchasing power to inflation. So I guess my generation, we don't have that much options anyway. Without going off topic too much, let's see the portfolio composition. So as you can see, the majority of it is composed by ETF, so IT, a sector ETF, the S&P 500 Information Technology, QDVE, you can see like in small letters. So that comprises 25% of my portfolio, so 1/4 of it is in this focus ETF. Then another 20% is on the S&P 500. Then 7% is on a very general ETF, all world, VWCE. This comprises with 3,000 over companies. So you can see here that we have a really strong foundation, and these ETFs, especially the first one, has been actually outperforming my current portfolio. So if I had invested my money on the first ETF, I would be doing better than I am doing right now. But I try to pick individual stocks, and this is also part of my strategy. And you can see here Google, this was a good pick. My average entry price is around 116, you can see the dashed line, and right now it's trading at 191. So the total return is 67. You can see here a couple of companies and how they are performing. Intel is down, Nike is down, Adobe is more or less flat, and you can even see here a company that went bankrupt. So this was a Portuguese startup, and yeah, there is always risk involved, so take everything with a grain of salt. If I poured all my life savings into that, I would be doing really poorly. So you can see here the pies I've created over the months. I started initially to contribute only 40 euros, then I moved to 80, then to 100, and now we are contributing. Last month I contributed 250. So as you can see, from last month up to now, the portfolio has appreciated 1%, so 2.70 euros more or less, according to this. And this month, let's see what I will invest. So I'm gonna be allocating, you see here average annual return, just because you see past performance isn't indicative of future results, but it's always nice to see how it's doing. So 25% is going for my focus ETF, as always, 15% for the S&P 500, 15% for these global, so it's more diverse, 10% for Adobe, because right now it's more or less my entry price is going to be the same as I did in the past, 10% for Nike, same thing. I'm adding NESTLE to the portfolio, and this is just to have some of exposure to these to this company, and we will see. The earnings report will be soon in February, how it will do, and from there on maybe I will consider to invest more or less, but let's wait for this. And I just want to have a bit exposure to this company. ASML and 5% for Intel. So let's go without any further ado. Overview. I invest, and this is very simple. This app is almost like gamified at this point. So 250, so you can see here the allocation, 25 to Adobe, 12 to Intel, the majority of it is going to the ETFs, and let's go, next, confirm, and hopefully now it's a bit late here in Switzerland, but I think most of these orders will execute in New York Stock Exchange. They still open at this hour, but let's see how the portfolio will be looking up. So let me see if it has executed or if there's gonna be a few orders pending. I want to keep this video short. I know right now it's a bit chaotic in my life, so we will see. Just trying to give you a quick update of what's going on. And of course my portfolio right now, the performance is going to drop a bit because my contributions are increasing compared to, even though I have good performance in the first one, the 40 euros is not as big as my, even if they grew 100%, is not as big as something as 250, but hopefully throughout my life, as I keep progressing in my career, I'll be able to contribute more, or maybe there will be phases, maybe I need to save money to buy a car or to buy a house or to get married or something, or I get sick and I need the money. But you always should have an emergency fund. I'm always bringing this back to the table. You have your emergency fund, and then you invest money that you can afford to lose, because if I would need this money to pay my rent, I'll be in a really sticky situation. Very recently that came into fruition in my life when I moved here to Switzerland. All my emergency fund that I have built from Portugal was completely wiped out in 30 days here, and it's time for me to rebuild that emergency fund. And if I consider it and deem it so, I already had these 3-in-2 money on the side for investing, so that I could ensure that I could do this playlist for this next year. So, but now on my other portfolios that I don't disclose, I'm holding off a bit until I can have my, let's say, my basket back on track, so that you can survive if things go a bit south. So right now only 50% of the stocks have executed. This is how it's doing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.